Trust that this moment is preparing you for something greater. And when the time is right, everything will come together in a way that is better than you ever expected. Until then, keep going, keep trusting, keep believing, because you're closer than you think, closer to peace, closer to clarity, closer to the life you've been praying for. And when it finally happens, you'll understand why everything had to happen this way. So stay strong, stay patient, and most importantly, stay connected to your faith, because that is what will guide you through everything. And that is what will lead you to where you're meant to be. And change is never comfortable, but it's always necessary. And remember, just because something is uncomfortable doesn't mean it's wrong. Sometimes it's exactly what you need, because comfort zones don't create growth. Challenges do. And maybe that's why you're here, in this moment, in this struggle, because this is where you're growing the most. Even if you don't feel it, even if you don't see it, it's happening, slowly, silently, powerfully. And one day, you'll look back at this moment, and you won't see pain. You'll see purpose. You'll see growth. You'll see how everything shaped you into the person you were meant to become. So don't rush the process. Don't try to skip the hard parts, because every part of your journey matters, even this one, especially this one. So take a deep breath and remind yourself, I'm exactly where I need to be, even if it doesn't feel like it, even if it doesn't make sense. And maybe this is the part of your life where everything feels uncertain, where nothing seems clear, where every step feels heavy. But what if this is not the moment where things are falling apart, but the moment where everything is quietly falling into place? Because sometimes life has to break your plans so it can build something better. And I know it doesn't feel good. It feels confusing. It feels painful. It feels like you're losing control. But maybe you were never meant to control everything. Maybe you were meant to trust. Trust that even when things don't go your way, they are still going in the right direction. Because God sees what you cannot. He sees the bigger picture. He sees the future you're walking into. And He knows exactly what you need to become that person. So when something leaves your life, don't always see it as a loss. Sometimes it's a release from something that was holding you back, a release from something that was not meant to stay. And yes, it hurts in the moment, but healing always begins with letting go. So don't hold on to what God is asking you to release, because what's coming next is better than what you lost, better than what you expected, better than what you imagined. But to receive it, you need to make space for it. And that space is created when you trust God enough to let go. So if you're holding on to something right now, something that's causing you pain, ask yourself, is this helping me grow or holding me back? And if it's holding you back, have the courage to release it. Because growth always requires change, where the struggle fades, where the blessings finally arrive. And in that moment, you won't just feel happy, you'll feel grateful. Grateful that you didn't give up. Grateful that you kept going. Grateful that you trusted God, even when it was hard. So hold on to that belief. Hold on to that hope, because your story is still being written, and the best part is still yet to come. If you've stayed till the end of this message, take it as a sign that you're stronger than you think, a sign that your faith is still alive, and a sign that something good is coming your way. So don't lose hope. Not now, not ever, because God is not done with you yet. And here's something most people don't realize. The moment you feel like giving up is often the moment right before everything changes. But many people quit there. They stop trusting. They stop believing. They stop moving forward. And because of that, they miss the breakthrough that was just one step away. So don't let that be your story. You've come too far to quit now. Think about everything you've already survived. All the pain, all the challenges, all the moments you thought you wouldn't make it through. But you did. You're still here. And that means something. That means God has a purpose for your life. A purpose that is bigger than your current struggle. So when life feels heavy, don't focus on what's going wrong. Focus on how far you've come. Because every step you've taken has been leading you here. And every step you take next is leading you closer to something better. You might not see the full picture yet, but you don't need to, because God sees it. And that's enough. So instead of trying to control everything, learn to surrender, not in weakness, but in faith. Surrender your worries. Surrender your fears. Surrender your doubts. And trust that God will handle what you cannot. Because some battles are not meant to be fought by you. They are meant to be handled by Him. And when you finally let go, you'll feel a peace that you've been searching for. a peace that doesn't come from situations, but from trust. So take a moment right now and just breathe. Let go of the pressure. Let go of the fear. And remind yourself, I am not alone. God is with me, guiding me, protecting me, leading me, even when I don't see it. And that's enough. So keep moving forward, even if it's slow, even if it's hard, even if you don't have all the answers. Because progress is still progress, and faith is still faith. And one day, you will reach a point where everything changes, where the waiting ends. God's plan is bigger, better, stronger. But to receive it, you have to let go of control. And that's not easy, because we all want certainty. We all want to know what's coming next. But life doesn't work that way. Faith doesn't work that way. Sometimes, you just have to take the next step, without seeing the whole path, and trust that God will guide you, step by step, moment by moment. So if you're feeling lost right now, don't panic. Feeling lost doesn't mean you're going in the wrong direction. Sometimes, it means you're being redirected. Redirected to something better, something you didn't even know you needed. And one day, you'll be thankful things didn't go your way, because they led you to something greater. So instead of asking, why is this happening? Try asking, what is this preparing me for? Because every challenge is shaping you, making you stronger, wiser, more ready for what's ahead. And when the right moment comes, you won't just survive, you'll rise, stronger than ever before. So hold on, even if it's just a little bit longer, because your story is far from over. In fact, it's just getting started, and the best part is still ahead of you. Let's go a little deeper. Sometimes the hardest part of life is not the struggle itself, but the waiting. Waiting for answers, waiting for change, waiting for things to finally make sense. And in that waiting, your mind starts to fill with doubts. What if nothing changes? What if I'm not strong enough? What if this is how it will always be? But those thoughts are not the truth. They are just fear trying to take control. Because the truth is, God didn't bring you this far to leave you here. Every step you've taken, every challenge you've survived, is proof that He has been with you all along. Even in the moments you thought you were alone, you weren't. God was there, guiding you, protecting you, carrying you through things you didn't even realize. And right now, He's still doing the same, even if you can't feel it, even if you can't see it. Because faith is not about seeing. It's about trusting. Trusting that behind every delay, there is a reason. Trusting that behind every no, there is a better yes waiting. Trusting that behind every closed door, there is a new path opening. And maybe, the reason things are not working out the way you planned is because your plan was too small. You are not forgotten. You are not abandoned. You are chosen. And everything you're going through right now is leading you to something greater. So hold on. Be patient. Keep praying. Keep believing. Because your breakthrough is closer than you think. God has not brought you this far just to leave you. He will finish what He started in your life. And when the right time comes, everything will make sense. Until then, walk by faith, not by sight. And remember, God is always with you. If this message touched your heart, take a moment and thank God. And don't forget to subscribe for more faith-based messages. Stay strong. Stay faithful. God bless you. Because God has something better prepared. We often ask God, why is this happening to me? But maybe we should ask, what is God trying to teach me? Every delay has a purpose. Every struggle has a lesson. God is not punishing you. He is preparing you for something bigger, something stronger, something greater than you can imagine. Think about it. A diamond is formed under pressure. Gold is purified in fire. In the same way, God is shaping you through your struggles. Right now, you may not understand it. It may not make sense. But one day, you will look back and realize, God had a plan all along. So don't lose faith, even when it's hard, even when you feel like giving up. Because your story is not over. God is still writing it. And the chapter you're in right now is not the final one. Better days are coming. The pain you feel today will turn into strength tomorrow. The tears you cry today will turn into joy. But you need to trust Him. Trust His timing. Trust His plan. Even when you don't see a way, God is making a way. Even when you feel alone, God is with you. Before we begin, take a deep breath. This message is not random. If you clicked on this video, it's because God wanted you to hear this. Right now, you might be feeling lost. Maybe you're confused about your life, your future, or even your purpose. It feels like you're trying so hard, but nothing is working. Doors are closing. Plans are failing. And deep inside, you're tired. You smile in front of others. But inside, you're carrying pain that no one understands. But let me tell you something important. God sees you. He sees every struggle you're facing, every silent tear you've cried, every night you stayed awake, worrying about things you cannot control. And even when it feels like He is silent, He is not absent. God is working behind the scenes. Sometimes, God removes things from your life, not to hurt you, but to protect you. That opportunity you lost, that relationship that ended, that plan that didn't work out. Maybe it wasn't meant for you. And when you do, you won't regret holding on. You won't regret trusting Him. So stay patient, stay strong, and most importantly, stay faithful, because what God has planned for you is worth every moment you're waiting. And maybe this is the moment where everything begins to change, not outside, but inside you, because real change doesn't always start with situations. It starts with your mindset. The moment you decide, I will not give up, that's the moment things start shifting. You may not see it instantly, but something inside you becomes stronger, more patient, more faithful, and that's exactly what God is building in you. Strength, because where you're going, you'll need it. So don't be discouraged by slow progress. Don't be discouraged by silence. Even silence has a purpose. Sometimes God is teaching you to trust Him without constant reassurance. And that kind of faith is powerful because it doesn't depend on feelings. It depends on belief. So even on the days when you feel weak, choose to believe. Even on the days when nothing makes sense, choose to trust. Because your story is being written by God, and He doesn't make mistakes. Everything you're going through right now is part of a bigger picture. A picture you can't fully see yet, but one day, you will. So today, make a simple decision. Choose faith over fear. Choose trust over doubt. And choose to believe that something amazing is already on its way. And when it finally arrives, you'll realize it was all worth it. If you're still watching this, that means your heart is strong and your faith is alive. So keep it that way. And never forget, God is working for you, even right now. And let me tell you one more thing. Sometimes, the reason God is quiet is because He's doing something so big that you wouldn't understand it yet. We always want clear signs, instant answers, and quick results. But faith doesn't work like that. Faith means trusting, even when you don't see anything changing, even when everything feels uncertain, because real faith begins where understanding ends. Think about the moments in your life when everything finally worked out. At that time, it all made sense, right? But while you were going through it, you felt lost. That's exactly where you are right now, in the middle of the story, not at the end. So don't judge your life based on this moment. God is still writing your journey. And sometimes, the most beautiful chapters come after the hardest pages. So if you're feeling weak today, that's okay. If you feel like crying, that's okay. If you feel like you don't have all the answers, that's okay too. Because you don't need to have everything figured out. You just need to keep going. One step at a time, one prayer at a time. And slowly, you'll see things changing. Not overnight, but at the perfect time. God's timing is never early, and it's never late. It's always right. So instead of worrying about when, focus on trusting who. Trust God, because He knows what you need, even more than you do. And He cares about you, more than you can imagine.